It's Hot Mike with Hutton and Withrow, where daily we discuss the National Football League and the push for the postseason. In the AFC, plenty of teams trying to jockey for positioning. In the NFC, well, the best teams in the NFL with the Philadelphia Eagles and San Francisco 49ers.
Well, hold on, Hutton. Not just those teams, but how about the Detroit Lions is one of the best teams in the NFL? Other shows may not mention that or talk about it. We will.
We are on board with Detroit. Subscribe to the podcast. Join us each day for Hot Mike with Hutton and Withrow across the Outkick Network. We discuss the NFL, college football, and the top headlines from Outkick.com.
All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, so I wanted to overall talk on why I don't smoke or drink, because I know that may be a shocker to a lot of people, but yeah, smoking and drinking just ain't really my thing. Like I've drank, I've never smoked. But yeah, overall it's one of those things where it's like, you know, when you kind of see what the amount of money you put into, because my thing is this. One of the number one reasons why I don't do it is because of addictions. I'm not trying to develop any more addictions. I already have a content creating addiction. I already have a Red Bull addiction. I already have a protein shake addiction. I already have a water addiction. What other addictions I have? A sneaker addiction. Bro, addictions are pricey, bruh. Like, and it's funny because there was a time I remember when one of my friends, I'm pretty sure you guys know who I'm talking about, but Wholesome, he joined my stream, and I can't remember how much money he said he put into like weed a month, but oh my god, it was a lot. Like I don't know if it was like monthly. It might have just been like a one-time thing where how much he had to spend on it. But regardless, I was like, bruh, weed should not cost that much. As fast as weed can go out, it should not cost that much. I'm like, bro, it is a plant. That should be the cheapest, unless you bought like a Jan Sport backpack size of weed. Even then, that should be at least like $40-$50. I'm like, nah, bro, because I'm like, bro, it's a plant. Like, you can literally grow this stuff, man. Like, nah, I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that. Like, when I be seeing those, it's because like, the funny thing is that I don't smoke weed, but I pay a lot of attention to it. Like, I watch their moves and stuff. I watch how, so I know that they got like these rooms where they just grow weed and stuff, right? Like, it's like they have on like these weird colored lights, and it's just rows of weed and things. Like, there's a couple of, you know, people that I've seen where they do that. Like, they grow it and stuff. So all of that weed, and you mean to tell me like what, a plant? Or how is that even negotiated? Like, I don't know how it looks when it's being grown, because I don't pay that much attention to it. But my thing is this. It should never, unless I'm buying like a Cadillac size, like I'm saying like an old-fashioned Cadillac, like a 1950s Cadillac, like one of them boat-sized Cadillacs that like pimps used to drive back in the 70s. If that ain't the amount of weed, like that weight of that Cadillac, if that ain't the same amount, if I smoke, if I'm paying $200 for it, I'm expecting it to be the same weight as one of them old pimped out Cadillacs from back in the day. But if it's not, and they talking about, oh, it's only going to be like a handful, that stuff better have me flying. I want to see the moon. I want to literally be so high to the point where I'm like far up there, right? Far up there, and I nod heads with Snoop Dogg because I'm on that same level. But if not, bro, like, yeah, to me, just smoking, it ain't really all that special, you know? Okay, you get high, you have yourself a good laugh, eat a little bit. Bro, I could do that without the weed. Like, the fact, because I know people are gonna probably be all like, nah, bro, it's different. Like, you gotta smoke, you gotta do this, you gotta, and I'm like, nah, bro. Like, my thing is this. I've experienced good laughs without being high. I experienced it at a young age. So therefore, it shows me that I can, and still to this day, will experience a good laugh. But my thing is this. I don't need weed to have me have a good laugh. So, like, or even eating, I'm like, bruh, I have enjoyed food. There are some foods out there where it's like, nah, the taste is off. But that's because that food is weird and something ain't right with it. But I don't think smoking weed is going to make the food taste better. I don't know. Like, it's possible. I don't know. But it's one of those things where I'm like, bruh, if I gotta spend money to make food taste better, no. I'm like, then that food is crap. And I'm like, I won't eat at that restaurant or that brand or whatever it is. I'm like, I ain't even gonna fool with that food no more. But what are some other things? Oh, then I know some people say that music sounds better when you smoke weed. And I'm like, bro, if I don't get that same, my thing is this, because I listen to a lot of music. I love music. Music is the one thing that gets me like through the day. Whether I'm, outside exercising or, just outside just running errands and stuff, what else, shopping around, like, or even just like when I'm like playing video games outside of, streaming and making videos, and I just sit there and listen to music. I'm like, music has, it's gotten me through some tough times. It has gotten me through some good days. It has, music is everything. Music is everything. I love music, all right? So my thing is this: if I gotta spend money, if I gotta spend money on weed to just make things feel, sound, taste, whatever it is, but better, I'm sorry, but I'm like, I personally can't invest in weed. I'm like, it's something, I know people probably will ask me that question, like, well, what would you do if you had married somebody that was, she smoked weed? I'm like, hey, that's her. I'm like, me, I'm not gonna fool with that. I'm like, no, that's her, that's her thing that she got going on. I'm not gonna get involved. I'm like, that's what she got going on and stuff, I know a lot of people are probably all like, oh, but that pressure, I'm pretty sure of it. My thing is this: if it's my decision, it's my decision. If because I know that there's people, I remember one of my friends, and that's like where it's something I'm like, fam, like it ain't good for everybody. Cause no, I remember I was sitting down, I was talking with one of my friends, and cause they had asked me that, they was like, do you smoke? And I was like, nah, it's just not my thing. And then they told me their experience when they smoked, and they said that they didn't like it, but they they have family and friends, and they were literally, I don't know what they got going on now, but I remember back in school, they were in a relationship. This dude, I'll never forget when this dude posted a video of himself, and that's when I knew, like, okay, that's just too much. If I gotta like do all this extra stuff just to smoke, and I'm like, nah, bruh, it ain't even worth it. But the man was smoking from a Coca-Cola bottle. Like, he had a plastic Coca-Cola bottle, he cut a hole in it, put like some pipe maneuver in it, like he did all this extra Macaulay Culkin Home Alone thinking of a plan type stuff, and it's like, bro, you can't just smoke like regular people, like you gotta do all this extra stuff I'm like, nah, bro, that's just, it ain't for me. I'm like, I'm sorry, but no, and stuff. So no, and it's like, and that's the thing where it's like, okay, I see that, and I'm like, okay, well then, I know that it is possible to be in a relationship, whether you're married or just, y'all just dating or whatever it is, like, you very well can say no and things. And even with drinking, I'm like, drinking, I feel like is a much more easier thing to, get a hold of and stuff versus weed, because with me in drinking, like, I drank before. And that's one thing that I thought of, and I was like, that's probably one of the main reasons why I don't drink like that, is because of how easy it is for me. Like, my thing is, I don't know if it's like, just a family trait where, like, I had some family members like back in the day where they could drink. I mean, because everybody in my family has drank, sister, parents, we've all done it. It ain't somewhere it's like I was the first one in the family to do it. We've all done it and stuff. So but that was one thing that I'll never forget, was when I remember I was at a going away party for one of my coworkers, and I didn't realize, like, cause we had both ordered the same drink. We both ordered the same drink, both got them at the same time, all that stuff. So I remember, I was like, cause I had to leave, so I'm like, okay, but I don't want to have like my drink gone and stuff. It was like a mixture. It wasn't like just straight, just alcohol. It was like Red Bull, orange juice, with some alcohol. Like it was a weird combo, but it tastes good. I did like it and stuff. But the thing was, it was so easy drinking it, and I'm like, bruh, that's not good. I'm like, that shouldn't be good, right? Like I shouldn't, because like I just started. Because my thing is this, I didn't do a whole lot of like underage drinking, so that's why I was like, okay, I thought like with me, I remember, because see, I think that was like another reason why I just don't care for drinking, is because like some drinks out there is just, to me, is nasty. I don't like it. Like I remember having beer for the first time. Oh my god, it was my 21st birthday. I remember, like, of course, like, my family, we had to celebrate. So I went out with my mom and sister, and I remember when we had came back home, they got me a beer, and so I was like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, fine, I'll drink it. And I remember drinking it, and I was like, what is this? I'm like, maybe that's just the kid in me, like, hey, yo, that's not good, fam. Stick to your, to the normal drinks that we usually be drinking, like soda, apple juice, water, protein shakes, Red Bulls. Like, my thing is with beer, it tastes like melted corn. Like, it doesn't even, I'm like, I don't even know what the hype is about drinking beer, but when I see people and they can buy a 6-pack and drink that of whatever, like, beer beverage, I'm like, bruh, how? Like, I'll drink a 6-pack of water, but like, with beer, I'm like, that to me is just, it's disgusting, man. It is some nasty stuff, and I'm like, I can't do it. Like, hard alcohol, it's crazy how I can drink hard alcohol more than I can drink beer, because, and I think that's like, I feel like, like overall that old saying, God works in mysterious ways, because I remember when, I think I mentioned this restaurant before, and it's probably a good thing that they had closed down, because if they didn't, I could see myself like making trips up to that place, just wasting my money on that one particular drink. But anyways, and it's probably good that I don't know the ingredients to that drink either, because if I did, most likely I would be trying to make it. But so anyways, so there was this restaurant out in Seattle called Mexico. And I remember when the one of the people that worked there, he was telling us like how he came up with this drink, and it tastes pretty good. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, dope. I'll try it out and things. So I remember, it was funny because I remember the first time we had it. Before that, I remember it was the bass player for Monitor, Jack, good friend of mine. Make sure y'all go check out Monitor and stuff. But anyways, so I remember he asked me, he was like, have you ever had, what was it, tequila? I think it was tequila. But anyway, so he goes on and asks me, he was like, have you ever had tequila before? I'm like, nah, man. I think because at that time, yeah, I just turned 21. He just started working there. So yeah, I was like, I didn't really know too much about the drinking world, but I was like, nah, I never tried tequila before. So anyways, we get 2 shots of tequila, and he's explaining to me how it works and all that stuff. He was like, okay, you got like have the salt around the the rim of the glass and things. You got like, then you take the shot and you like take the lime and stuff. So I was like, all of that out my brain. I didn't remember any of those things that he said. I don't remember him telling me that, but it was a part where I do remember him giving me instructions. I'm like, oh, that's what I was supposed to. So no, it was funny because he takes his shot, he hurry up and, he starts eating on the lime. I took my shot and I set the glass down, and I was just sitting there like, all right, that was solid. I'm like, that was an okay drink. He's like, no, you gotta take the lime. I was like, oh, I forgot all about that. And I was like, I could have did this without the lime. Like, I ain't really need the lime. But that, to me, I'm like, that's how easy drinking was for me. And so, anyways, I do remember sitting there with my chest feeling a little bit heavy and stuff. And I'm like, oh, man, I can't do this no more. But it was when I had that, what was it, Boomerang? And that was the name of the drink. When that man gave me, it was like a hybrid drink that man came up with. When he gave me that drink, bro, I promise you guys, I remember because it was the catering manager's last day, and I remember because I was one of the first ones that left because I lived far out. Everybody else lived in Seattle. I lived outside of Seattle and stuff. So anyways, I go and I'm getting ready to walk away and stuff. I'm like, bruh, my upper body felt so light. Like, my legs felt normal. Upper body, super light. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but bruh, I feel good right now. I'm like, I feel really good right now. I am at the bus stop, and I'm like, bro, I can honestly, like, no, this drink gives you wings, okay? This boomerang drink definitely gives you wings. Forget Red Bulls, bro. I'm like, no, this boomerang drink definitely gives you wings. And it was funny because, like, so I remember I got on the bus, crashed, went to sleep, woke up. I felt fine, and I was like, oh, okay, you know. And I'm like, all right, you know, it's chills, whatever. Then the second time I remember I just went, it was like, nah, bro, I want the 2 boomerang drinks. So anyways, homie comes out, he gives us, you know, he gives us one, gives me another, and then after that, I felt like, bro, I could have went into like an octagon and had like 15 fights in a row. I don't know why. I felt violent, and I'm like, that's not good. That is not good at all. I'm like, I shouldn't feel, because no, I'm like walking to the bus stop, and the funny thing is that I vividly remember me walking to another bus stop because I just had so much energy, and I'm like, what did he put in that drink? Because I'm like, this ain't normal, bruh. I shouldn't be walking to a further bus stop when I very well could have just walked down the street. Why am I where am I even going? And I'm like, what am I doing right now? So yeah, I was like, alcohol, I'm telling you, it does things. Oh, then I think we all know, because I did tell this story before the first time I had got drunk. I should do like a TikTok of the first time when I got drunk, because yeah, that's probably one of the main reasons why I really don't drink, is because getting drunk and then, you know, throwing up, freaking waking up with a hangover, passing out, turning on your Xbox and passing out before you can even play a video game. Yeah, and ruining some Nike pants. Yeah, bro, I was like, drinking and smoking is just way too pricey. So me personally, I can't support it. But, you know, for others out there, hey, you know, drinking and smoking, just don't do excessive amounts of it. But if you know you like, oh, I gotta smoke to relax my nerves, or, you know, I might have me a glass of wine to end the day off and things, all right, you know, yeah, that's chill, that's cool. But like, if you can you go without it? You see, like, that's the point that I'm trying to make, because, like, for an example, Red Bulls, like energy drinks, because like so far right now it's like it's Red Bull and C4 energy drinks. Can't go without that. I'll start having withdrawals. I'll start looking like a crackhead, and it's same with water, freaking protein shakes, all that stuff. If I go long amounts of times without having it, I start feeling anxious. I start feeling like, okay, I need it, bro. They're like, bro, you don't need it. I'm like, no, I do need this. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, why my skin feels this way? They're all like, bro, ain't nothing wrong with you. You just need to sit down and relax. I'm like, I can't sit down. All right, I'm not gonna sit down and relax. I need my Red Bull. Okay, so because no, the thing is this, and this is how I just want to explain my addictions to Red Bull. I've been drinking Red Bull since I was maybe 13, 14 years old. I can't remember a time where, I remember there were times before where I would go like long, extensive, especially back when I was in school. Like, I would go days without drinking it, but it seemed like afterwards, after I graduated, then it was like, bro, I remember I would, like, you know, if I had change sitting around, I'm like, oh, okay, I'll use this, go get me a Red Bull at the corner store and stuff. I have went out, okay, and all different types of weather types, whether it was hot outside, cold outside, full-blown raining, full-blown snowing. It don't matter what the weather conditions is, I'm going to the store, I'm getting me a Red Bull. And most likely, you know, if it's snowing this year, and it might, you know, or it might snow at the beginning of next year, I'm most likely going to take my little old snow walk to whatever store I prefer to go to and get me a Red Bull. So, I don't know, man. It's just, it's crazy. But anyways, and that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're viewing this on podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. Make sure you subscribe to one of my 46 YouTube channels. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Instagram at TMossBoss, and make sure you follow my Facebook page at TMossBoss fan page. Also, if you are purchasing any tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It will knock $20 off your first purchase. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.